Dude looks like a lady. But isn't that just an opinion? Hi, my name is James, and I'm a grateful recovering alcoholic. In alcoholism recovery, prevention from relapse, a relapse prevention plan, there's a lot of pitfalls and this, that, and the other thing. Opinions seem to pave the road to relapse, and the road to recovery seems to be paved with facts. How do I know this? Well, because I practice spiritual principles. Believe it or not, sobriety involves a little bit more than just putting down your drug of choice. It involves emotional sobriety, acceptance, love and tolerance, but mostly acceptance. Handing your will over to the care of God as you understand it. God is a him, isn't it? But isn't that just an opinion? Yes. In my opinion, in my damned opinion. What up, Holly? What up, Noah? How goes it? Holly, how's the new kitty cat? Holly's got a new kitty cat, everybody. Noah, you got a brand new bag. How was the day, Noah? I'm hoping you and your to get your mind out of the gutter. Isn't that just your opinion? It's cringy. Why is it cringy? Is it because of what has happened, or is it because of your perception and opinions about it? Look, opinions are what's wrong with the world today, in my opinion. Forever, the cat is clingy. Oh. See, my perception was all messed up. My opinions took that situation and just twisted it all around. What does that say? It says opinions are dangerous. The cat wasn't cringy in the first place. The cat was clingy. Well, you're her mommy. And yes, I am a weirdo. But isn't that just our opinion? The fact is, I'm human. That's a fact. Am I a weird human? Maybe in your opinion. And you might think I'm so weird that it drives you to drink. I might think I'm so weird that it drives me to drink. Opinions lead to relapse. Facts lead to recovery. Let's talk about some examples. Six Flags was pretty hot and didn't realize today was a federal holiday, and it was packed, but very fun. Yes, happy Juneteenth to all you woke mofos. But isn't June 13th? I don't know. My point here is, if we dwell in our opinions, if we dwell in our will, if we judge constantly, it will lead to emotions we don't like, and then behaviors that are detrimental, like drinking alcohol. I know this from experience, and in my experience is a fact. Conclusions are drawn from facts in my world. It seems, though, that it can be easy for me to draw conclusions from my opinions. There is a huge difference here. This is something that we need to practice in recovery, to recognize how I feel about a situation and the situation itself. Your cat's clingy, accept it. Is your cat cringy, or is James cringy talking about your pussy cat? Well, accept it. There is a simple path to an emotionless and, well, a sober life, and that is acceptance. Handing our will over to the care of a God as we understand it. In my opinion, because there is a use for an opinion, and that is a God of your understanding. The program of Alcoholics Anonymous, which I am not going to talk about as often as I have been for one reason and one reason only. The principles and the traditions of AA suggest that I don't, for the better welfare of alcoholics worldwide. It draws my own opinions about it. Well, I could say things like, well, I'm carrying the message. Well, I'm reaching more people. Well, this, well, that, well, nothing. 100-year-old program suggests that I don't. It has led me to a happy, sober, accepting life, so I'm going to go ahead and trust it instead of my own opinions. My own opinions will get me drunk sooner or later. Very flawed individual, even he would agree. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's a fact, Jack. I'm flawed. There's proof. I'm not aware of any humans that are flawless, except for the subhumans in the world of Mortal Kombat. Flawless victory. Well, isn't that just an opinion? No. There have been flawless victories in the middle world of of Mortal Kombat's Anonymous. Noah says, when I was at Six Flags hanging out, I felt alive, like I didn't have a thought of anything until I get home and I'm alone in my own thoughts again. So this is when AA kicks in, you meet people. Very true. Connection is said to be the opposite of addiction. I feel better. I went to 2 meetings. I just got back from a meeting. I wasn't feeling too good. I have a back injury that flared up. I've had back surgery in the past, and I've been building and polishing these guns and deadlifts. My opinion was I can do deadlifts without a weightlifting belt. That was my opinion. It led to a relapse in my back injury. If I were to go with facts, you have had a back surgery. You are very tall, lean, muscular, and handsome, so you are susceptible to back injuries because the most of the weight is up here in my big ego and head and my upper body muscles. So I'm basically like a skyscraper waving in the wind. So I get a back injury. Those are facts. How handsome and tall I am is a fact. So I am susceptible to back injuries. If I would have went by that and not my opinions, I wouldn't have a relapse in back injury and I wouldn't be restless, irritable, and discontent. My opinions of the back injury are very negative. I'm projecting into the future of, not being able to build enough supporting muscles, stabilizing muscles for my back. And, it has affected my mood. Mood, according to cognitive behavioral therapy, leads to behavior. There is a situation, a thought. This is how the process works according to CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. It goes situation, thought. Both of these things we can't control. Have you ever had a random thought about killing somebody? You ever had a random dream about, eating a human flesh on a faraway island inhabited by a civilized man? You can't control that thought. You can't control that dream. That's same with the situations around us. You can, however, control your very next thought and your very next emotion, thus preventing the behavior that evolves from the emotion. The word trigger is used a lot in addiction recovery. A situation may trigger me. This, in my understanding, this doesn't mean trigger you to drink. It means it will trigger an emotion that will cause you to drink. So control your emotions, control how you feel about a situation. When you give stuff to God, which is essentially just admitting that reality exists and you have no control over it, your emotions seem trivial. Hey, what up, Alex? What you mean? What was the guy's deal last night at the end of the live? This is why AA has traditions to not promote AA. Alcoholics Anonymous is a program of attraction, not promotion. You don't ever see commercials about AA. People who tend to be more in their opinions than they are in reality fail to see that AA is 2 million people strong around the world. It is the leading and most effective treatment for alcoholism and has been for 89 years. This has been proven by Stanford studies and the lot. But alcoholics are full of opinions, and so are people. In AA, in recovery, we are taught to leave your opinions behind if you want to recover. Opinions will lead to relapse. Acceptance of facts will lead to recovery. The more you practice accepting facts, the more peaceful and serene your life becomes. I'll tell you this from experience and watching what happens to hopeless alcoholics like myself. You can literally just say, you know what? I hurt my back again. Then you start living in the solution instead of dwelling in the problem and eventually drinking over it. You begin to live in the solution. Resting your back, watching Wayne's World 2, partying on dudes. Solution. The guy last night said, well, he is trying his own way. He has placed more values in his opinions than he has in reality. When we do this, we are in danger. Our will be done, our opinions rule. Dangerous territory. Stick to facts and begin to learn how to accept them. Live life on life's terms. Hand your will and your life and your opinions and your decisions and your best arguments. Get rid of them solely for the fact that they're the ones that got you here in the first place. That's a fact. Fact is, I'm 43 and I've been to jails, institutions, dead twice, literally, technically, many hospitals, broken relationships, failed careers, broke my back. I have my body, although tight, muscular, and slightly tan and sexy, is riddled with scars from my own opinions to do something crazy. Fact, Jack. Your own opinions got you here. Take the opinions of people that have had a spiritual awakening. Hand your will and your opinions over to the care of God as you understand it. and you will recover. This is an observable fact. This isn't an opinion. This is an observable fact that exists. Problems in everyday life, with alcoholism or not, are all about opinions. If you step back and objectively observe arguments on social media, the comments in these videos, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you will notice that people are just passing their opinions as facts, and the people are accepting them or rejecting them due to their own opinions. Here's a fact. Everybody thinks we know something. I'm included because I'm human, and I live in this modern world where opinions rule. Well, that's messed up. I no longer live my life by opinions. They will kill me. My own brilliant ideas and opinions will kill me. I have accepted that my thinking, my opinions are not the be-all, end-all. There are powers greater than myself, or a higher power. And even Alcoholics Anonymous states that their only authority is a loving God. There are no leaders in AA. Anybody that ever claims that AA is a cult is by definition ignorant. And by definition that means they are without knowledge of the topic. I was thinking today, and this is just my opinion, which I will always say, and if I don't, remind me. But in my opinion, cults are trying to be like Alcoholics Anonymous. They claim to be loving and tolerant. They claim to be honest. If you ask me, cults are trying to pass themselves off. The Manson family, the John Jones deal, all the malicious cults tried to pass it off like they were pure, like the organization 89 years old of Alcoholics Anonymous. There is no malice in recovery. There is just joining together, like you said, Noah, as a community. Connection is the opposite of addiction. So, yes, there are a lot of opinions, and there are disagreeable personalities in Alcoholics Anonymous. Just like any social group, there is disagreeable people. Some are sicker than others. I know I was one of them. I picked up a white chip and gave a speech. Traditionally, you give a speech when you pick up a year chip, not a white chip of 24 hours and please help me. You know what I mean? But it was a heartfelt speech of please help me. But I just laugh at that every time. I got to tell you a joke that I heard in a meeting. A guy picked up his 40-year sobriety chip, ex-Navy. He was talking about his drinking days. He talks about how much he has changed since his drinking days. He said he was in the Navy, he'd be so drunk, he couldn't find the ship, couldn't find the aircraft carrier. And as I was just hysterically laughing at that, which is the truth, but also hilarious, we can laugh at it now because it's over. I realized I couldn't find the aircraft carrier. I was so drunk one time. I forgot it was anchored, not ported. Because that's what alcohol does. It makes you powerless. You don't even have mind power anymore. Yellow chip is 9 months. The joke that I always say when handing that one out is yellow, the color of the P-test. because you're pregnant and 9 months ago you were knocked up. Now, if I can judge the room, if I read the room and it's acceptable, I will say yellow. 9 months representing the fact that you're pregnant with possibilities now because 9 months ago you were fucked. And in the right crowd, if properly delivered, which I guess I was being led by God when I said that one, because there wasn't a, it was a knee-slapping good time. There was 40 people in that meeting. Most of those people, like dude last night, it's because they're selfish and lazy and don't want to put in the work that's necessary to stay afloat. It was the same way a few years back. Right. I was trying to tell him, I have been where he is. Most of the people in Alcoholics Anonymous will tell you when they walked in the rooms, they'll say these words. They'll say, I thought you people were nuts. I thought you people were a cult. You know, they say things like, keep coming back, and the Serenity Prayer. I thought you were a religious cult. That was 28 years ago, and here I am today, a changed person. Almost every AA, almost every anonymous alcoholic, anonymity is for the protection of the program and the individual, and you get to choose whether you disclose your anonymity or not. I can say that I was there, but I can't say that Mike was there. But yes, addiction and alcoholism is a very self-centered, egotistical disease. Your ego talks to you in your own voice. It's me, 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 me. I don't want to go to a meeting. What am I going to get from that meeting? Soon you begin to change and you say to yourself, what if there's someone there that needs what I have to say? Noah, you could go to a meeting and say, I'm new, and there's a reason you're the most valuable person in the room, because old timers get to help you. They get to relive what you're going through vicariously. They get to expand their spirituality by helping you. They get to stay sober by helping you. You are the most valuable person in the room. To say, what am I going to get from that meeting, which we all have said, what's there for me? There's no pretty girls at that meeting. They don't even have good coffee. You know what I mean? It's hot in there. Me, 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 me. You're going to me yourself right back to drinking. Is that a fact? Yes. It's an observable fact, observable through hindsight and history. Stop me if I'm wrong. But every relapse, the story starts with, I thought. I thought it would be different this time. I thought I was sober for a year and that was good. I could drink like other people. I thought alcoholism had left me. I thought. Every relapse story begins with I thought. Stop thinking, start living. You cannot think your way into a good life. You can live your way into good thinking. I had to be taught this. I have to practice it. It's not my natural way. It's my natural, diseased, sick way is, what about me? The way we practice is, what can I offer the newcomer? What can I offer this meeting? There's only 2 times you go to a meeting, and that's when you want to or when you don't want to. Maddie Rush, thanks for commenting. For all of you who don't know, I do have a membership on this channel. It helps me get along. Feel free to click the join button, post it at the top of the chat box or on my channel page to check it out. I thought a putty tat. What up, Tremille? No, I'm glad you had a good time today. I'm glad you're discovering that being around others, there's a saying, there's wolves out there. by the name of addiction. Stay close to the middle of the herd of sheep, cattle, lamb, whatever you want to put it. Stay close to the middle. The ones that venture from the group get picked off by the wolves. This is also an analogy based in fact, observable fact. There's a yellow chip for 9 months. The gold chip, I think, is 3 months. There's a bronze chip for 2 months. There's a bronze for 1 month, silver for 2, gold for 3. 6 months is green, representing the grass that grows back between your house and the liquor store. Or green for keep going. Well, red, I forgot. Red is for 30 days. That's for when you get some blood back in your alcohol system. These are all just lighthearted jokes that we say when we're offering the chips. The white chip is the one you pick up to surrender. What are you surrendering? Your opinions, your will, your way. Your way hasn't worked. Your way hasn't worked. When you're desperate enough, you will pick up a white chip. It is the chip of surrender. It's not surrendering your life. It's not surrendering your goods. It's surrendering the fact that your way hasn't worked. I'm going to try the AA way. Green chip for 6 months. For when the grass grows back between my house and the liquor store. Because I've been walking back and forth twice a day. Your gold chip is a 30-day chip, Tramiel? Yeah, I get them wrong sometimes. Blue chip is definitely a year or more. When you get your first year, you get I have 5 of them. I could go get them, but they're heavy medallions. They're not plastic chips. They're medallions. I have like more than 5. I have 4 inconsecutive ones. I did a year once, relapsed. I did 18 months once, relapsed. I think. Okay, so I think I did a year another time once in relapse. But then I had 7 in a row. So I got about 10 1-year medallions. Or no, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 1-year medallions, and then I got 1 2-year, 1 3-year, 1 4-year, 1 5-year, 1 6-year, and 1 7-year. Now I got a white chip, and a new red chip, bronze chip, gold chip, green chip. Here in 2 months, I'll be getting a yellow chip. Pregnant with possibilities because 9 months ago I was fucked. Is my personal favorite. It doesn't always fly. You know, sometimes there's some older people in the rooms, women. But with some humility, skill, and God's will, you can deliver that joke and get a laugh. And then after the 9 months, which they say is the hardest one to get. Why? These are just opinions, but it seems as though you get your 6-month chip, you get your 3rd month, you get your 1 month, 2 month, 3 month right in a row. Then 3 months later you get a green chip. Well, that one's for the purpose of comedy, so you know, in my opinion, there it is again. Cursing may be toxic, but in my opinion, I can use it sometimes. You know what I'm saying? People walk around with their opinions and shit. Like, it's disgusting. And then I got the green chip, 6 months. And then the yellow chip is 9 months. They say that's the hardest one. because you go from, there's a big gap between 6 months and 9 months, and then 9 months to a year. But I told you the story of how I picked up my 1-year medallion, went on a date, and out of nowhere, I ordered 2 tequila shots. Out of nowhere. Told my date I wasn't drinking because there's cops out tonight. She said, I got some booze at my house if this keeps going this well. The waiter was right there. I said, I'll take 2 shots of tequila, please. Not for her, 2 for me. Out of nowhere. I hadn't gotten what the book says. The big book of Alcoholics Anonymous says, there will come a time where you have no mental defense against the first drink. That is a fact, Jack. Through observable history, that is a fact. It happened to me, and I've heard dozens, if not hundreds, of stories of it happening to others. Hey, did I mention it was out of nowhere? I emphasize that because there I was, 1 year sober, just got a bunch of hugs and shit on a very promising date. Oh, I could tell you the rest of that story too. Very promising date. Yeah, we drank. Yeah, we went back to her place. Yeah, we did the horizontal mambo. Spent the whole weekend drinking and doing that. And the word love was being thrown around by both parties. And, well, I had lost my job and my dad wouldn't let me stay at his house anymore, all in the course of a weekend. By Monday, I had gone back to my fuel truck dispatcher job. But I thought it would be a good idea to do it with 2 bottles of vodka, because my opinion was what my higher power was. And my dad said, you can't be drinking here. So I took a cab to her place. She worked night as a correctional officer in a jail. And it was the day. She was sleeping. She didn't answer the knocks on her door. So I just had a case of beer and the bottle of vodka that wasn't drank. And I just was sitting thinking she wasn't there. Sitting at her apartment door, 3 flights up. And I was literally homeless at this point. And I thought I had a new girlfriend. And there it was, midday, hot as balls. And she opens her door to me sitting there with I don't know if I had a couple things or not, but I had beer and a bottle of vodka. And I was obnoxious, and she's like, I gotta go to work and stuff. And I'm like, can we get back to what we were doing? You know what I mean? She's not alcoholic. So no, she's got to go to work. I had just lost my job and my residence in a matter of 48 to 96 hours. After 1 year of sober, and out of nowhere came my opinion that I can drink 2 shots of tequila. Opinions lead to relapse, and it won't be just, it's in my experience, it's not just I have good spiritual sobriety and then it comes out of nowhere. No, those opinions were coming out of nowhere, cunning, baffling, and powerful. I was probably on the date, unbeknownst to me, I was probably on the date due to my cunning, baffling, and powerful disease of alcoholism making decisions for me. I had stopped going to meetings regularly. You know what I mean? My spiritual fitness was not... Why do you think I go to 2 meetings a day now? It's like, there's no paycheck. There's no paycheck. But there is something more valuable. It is spiritual enlightenment, spiritual awakening, spiritual fitness. It needs to be practiced. That is a fact, Jack. My opinions in the past have been, I've been to enough meetings. One of my opinions was, formally, I will work the first step of Alcoholics Anonymous, which is I am powerless over alcohol and my life had become unmanageable. All right, that's enough for me. I thought. My opinion was, that's enough for me. The fact is, you work the 12 steps to get a spiritual awakening. If you don't have a spiritual awakening, you work the 12 steps again. You stay until the miracle happens. But my brilliant ideas and opinions said otherwise, and I relapsed. I've relapsed multiple times. I got enough white chips, I could backsplash my kitchen counter with white chips. I could tile my kitchen counter backsplash with white chips. Another lighthearted quip. But I got a lot of them. I got a lot of blue chips, got a few green chips, gold chips, and I got like 7, 8, 9. I got 9. I got medallions, 1-year medallions. This is what makes up facts. History makes facts. Not my opinion of what is to come, not my opinions of what is. Undeniable facts lead to recovery. To never forget facts is sustainable recovery. That's why you hear people, that's why Bruce picked up his 40-year sobriety medallion. Talked about his old drinking days, how he couldn't find the aircraft carrier. Because you need to be reminded every day, alcoholism is cunning, baffling, powerful, and patient. While you're not drinking, it's out in the parking lot doing push-ups. It's Mike Tyson. You do not beat it. You just stay out the ring and stay in Mike Tyson's Anonymous meetings. To remind you that the last time you stepped in the ring with Mike Tyson, aka alcoholism, you got your ass whooped. You'll forget that with a quickness. It might even take a year. It might take 18 months. It might take 8 years, like it did for me. And you'll be like, you know what? I think it's a good idea to fight Mike Tyson again. The entire time those 8 years been outside doing push-ups. He's like, yeah, you want to, okay. Hey, you want to fight again? That's cool. That's a fact, Jack. Undeniable, observable facts will lead to recovery. Undeniable reminding of facts will lead to sustained recovery. Daily reprieve of handing your will over, living life on life's terms, living the code of love and tolerance, forgiveness, amends, cleaning house, helping others, trusting in God daily. The day you stop doing it is the first day you start forgetting. And that's your first day of relapse. That's a fact, Jack. That's a fact. Do you know what I mean, man? What's up, cats? Cats, did I tell you that Holly got a new kitty cat? She said she's clingy. Her name's June Bimbers. No, her name's Junebug. Opinions. They're not just responsible for relapse. They're responsible for toxicity and trouble all around alcoholics, addicts, or non-alcoholics and addicts. Everyone in their opinions. My opinion is so great. My opinion is fact. My opinion is better than your opinion. Your opinion won't even be considered. That's why the HOW, how, the O, how do you do it? HOW, how? Honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. Honestly, my opinions have gotten me drunk, jails, institutions, and death. I am now open-minded to the program of AA or an opinion of a recovering alcoholic that is successful. I am willing to do a new way of life because my old way doesn't work. Period. That's a fact, Jack. It's not an opinion. There are literal historical landmarks of proof that your opinion isn't working. You don't have to be bummed out about it. You don't have to be like, man, I'm such a loser. My opinions don't work. That's the sickness. It's also the conditioning of the world we live in, where everyone thinks their opinions are God. Honest, open, and willing. How you do it. I think. Everything after I think, or the alcoholic at least, is trivial and dangerous. Well, I think I've been to enough meetings this year. Well, I think I can drink at weddings. Well, I think I'm going to snort that dust behind my dresser. Sound familiar? I think starts trouble. God's will be done starts recovery. God's will seems like God's will is just another term for reality. Reality will always be done. Reality is, I'm an alcoholic, I can't drink alcohol. That's reality. It doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what I hope. It doesn't matter what other people think. Noah, it doesn't matter that other people think you're too young to be an alcoholic. What they think, their opinions don't matter. Your opinion for now doesn't matter. It's sick. It is sleeping. It hasn't been succumbed to a spiritual awakening. Your opinions about how you could probably snort the dust off your dresser, your opinions on how you can probably have 5 drinks of that bottle in the basement, but then I'll throw it away, those will lead to relapse. Reality says you can't have 1 drink. You have a physical allergy that leads to the phenomenon of craving and eventually jails, institutions, and death. There's 3 options for the alcoholic: sober up, get locked up, or get covered up with dirt. Those are your 3 options as an alcoholic. That is a fact, Jack. If you say prove it, you prove it to yourself. I have proven it to myself through assertion of my own opinions. Assertion of my own opinions, like AA is whack. AA seems like a popularity contest. AA is just a bunch of holier than thous. I've felt this way before because my addiction is a disease that tells me how to feel. It is scared of recovery. It is addiction as an entity dwells in your mind and lies to you in your own voice. It is scared of Alcoholics Anonymous. People that talk about Alcoholics Anonymous negatively, number one, they're ignorant. All they have to do is read the book. Anyone who's read the book will know without a doubt that AA is not malicious, not a cult. It is good. Yeah, do the steps and prove that it doesn't work. Chuck, an anonymous alcoholic, that I'm not showing you a picture of him or anything, picked up 28 year chip. He said 28 years ago he came into that same meeting, which I just found out was 30 years old. 30 years there's been a place to go for alcoholics just because other alcoholics meet there. Nobody tells them to do it. There are no leaders. Alcoholics show up for other alcoholics for 30 years, Monday and Thursdays. That meeting has been there. Chuck said he came there 28 years ago to prove AA wrong. He was court ordered. His friends and family were telling him he needs to get sober and AA is the way. He went there to prove them wrong. That was 28 years ago. That was 28 one-year sober chips ago. That was 28. That was a different Chuck ago. He said when he stopped drinking, he started wondering, where are all the police? He never thought that there was a world without police because he was getting in so much trouble when he was drinking that he thought they were just out to get him. The moment he had his awakening, the moment he handed his will and his life over to the care of God and AA as he understood it, the moment he just stopped seeing police everywhere. He had police in his life until he surrendered his will, his own opinions. Turns out it was his opinions getting him arrested. It was his opinions getting him drunk. His opinions were proven wrong when AA did work. And AA, let me just set this myth aside. People say AA doesn't work. Of course AA doesn't work. AA is not the alcoholic. AA is not the person that's using their opinions and getting arrested and drunk all the time. You work. When someone says AA doesn't work, just take it as I didn't work. The program of Alcoholics Anonymous is and has been for 89 years the most effective way to treat alcoholism. It's 2 million people strong. So yeah, my little human ass got kind of aggravated by that dude last night. And my little opinion factory didn't have what it took to promptly answer arguments correctly. You know what I mean? You don't know about all this. Reality does. Reality is. It doesn't waver. Reality is Alcoholics Anonymous is the most successful recovery program proven by Stanford medicine. More successful than psychotherapy. More successful. If you go to rehabs, 80-90% of them are just going to take you to Alcoholics Anonymous meetings. It's free. That's another proven fact. I should stop talking about AA. It's in the traditions that because I'm just another drunk trying to get along. Bill W., the founder of AA, said, I'm just another drunk trying to get along. It is said that there was divine spirit that intervened on mankind in 1935 when the 12 steps were written by Bill W. and Dr. Bob. They were written so immaculately. The book was written so immaculately. The first 164 pages, that's the text of the big book. Everything after that is just personal stories from random alcoholics. But the first 164 pages that were written in 1935 or 1939 or whenever it was written haven't changed. So, the fact, no matter what our opinion is about AA, the facts will lead you to recovery. Our opinions will lead us to relapse. This is knowledge and wisdom that's been gifted to me through following a spiritual program and getting out of my own head. I used to have all kinds of arguments against AA, and none of them, they were all made of straw. Facts are made of a foundation of brick and mortar. Facts. Opinions just fly off in the wind. Straw, dust. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. Accepting reality is the beginning of recovery. Continuing to lie to yourself and put faith in your own opinions, which is essentially I am God. My opinions are the highest, and I'm going to live by them. This will always crumble. Faith in your own opinions, faith in your own willpower always crumbles. That's a fact, Jack. especially of the alcoholic. Juju Shrimp, you want to get sober? Do it. I'm still deciding on how to follow the traditions and the principles. I'm trying to honor the power that has changed my life and saved my life and is always welcoming. You can go, you can leave. They are understanding of your, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to honor them by not advertising, but the truth, the fact is, if you want to get sober, it's aa.org. Find a meeting near you by putting in your zip code. Or Meeting Guide app. Meeting Guide app. If you want to get sober, none of your thoughts after this point should have any weight. Don't follow any of your thoughts. Follow reality. The reality is Alcoholics Anonymous has been getting alcoholics and keeping alcoholics sober. The principles, following the spiritual principles of Alcoholics Anonymous. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do anything. But the fact is, the program of Alcoholics Anonymous is the most effective remedy and treatment for alcoholism and has been for 89 years. I just went to the Founders Day picnic this weekend. Juju Shrimp, if you want to get sober, if you need to get sober, stop listening to your opinions and start listening to reality. The reality is, go to Alcoholics Anonymous and stay. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure out how to honor the traditions. Every questionable thing that you can ever question about AA has an answer in the principles, in the traditions, in the steps, or in the book. Every argument, and alcoholics argue, they'll argue their opinions to the gates of insanity or death. We alcoholics will argue. There is no arguing with the truth. There is no arguing with reality. That's why yesterday, you guys, Mike Tucker and Glom Gazingo, said there's no arguing with AA. There isn't any arguing with reality. Reality just is. It's not going to argue back. It'll just be. That's why there's no arguing with Alcoholics Anonymous. It is based in honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. Its code is love and tolerance. So, yes, reality always has an answer to your opinions. Reality always has an answer to your opinions. Juju Shrimp, if you want to get sober, look up a meeting for today or tomorrow. You'd be surprised on how often they are and how close they are to where you are. The Meeting Guide app. If I could jump into your body and possess you, I would jump into your body, download the Meeting Guide app, look up a meeting, get a ride if I didn't have it, share it with somebody that cares about me. I need to get to this meeting. Go to the meeting with an open mind and be honest, open-minded, and willing to take the suggestions. That's what I would do if I could possess you. That's a fact. Once we have a spiritual awakening as a result of the 12 steps, and I can understand why people think it's a cult, but cults want to be AA. You don't understand. Cults mimic AA. They try to convince you that they're honest. They try to convince you that love and tolerance is their code. Cults use AA as a blueprint to try to gain your trust. Johnny Mullins has a good point. Some need detox treatment in a recovery house. The bear of all that works best in Alcoholics Anonymous. The base of all that works best. Yes. Alcoholism is a physically addictive drug, and it works on your central nervous system. There's 3 drugs you can die from withdrawal from. That's barbiturates, benzodiazepines like Xanax and Klonopin, and alcohol. I've had a grand mal seizure. The story's on my channel. You can look it up. I've been to 7 detoxes, 6 of which on the East Coast, 1 of which on the West. Detox is medically assisted and supervised. Detox so you won't have a seizure. You know, so your central nervous, you won't have cardiac arrest, stuff like that. It's a medically supervised and a medical taper, usually using benzodiazepines like Ativan, Librium. I've never seen them give me Xanax or Klonopin, but they administer, and it's usually about 7 days. Then you step out of there into treatment or recovery house, or what's called, and then from there you can step into what's called a halfway house. Although these come with their own risks, and addiction recovery is a $1 billion+ a year business. That means there is maliciousness. Alcoholics Anonymous, there is no fee. When you are well, you decide to start donating $1 a meeting or $2 a meeting or however you much to keep the coffee flowing, to keep helping alcoholics by paying rent to the building. But Alcoholics Anonymous asks nothing of you. There is said to be only one requirement, and that is to have a desire to stop drinking. Juju Shrimp, in your own words, you want to get sober. Walk into the next AA meeting you can and say those exact words and say, I need help. My ideas aren't working. My opinions are getting me drunk. I need help. I need a new way of life. You could say, do you guys have one? And they're going to say, yes. They say, if you can't afford a big book, we'll get you one. They say, if you don't have rides, we'll get you rides. AA is not a single person. It's not a single entity. It has no leaders. Alcoholics Anonymous consists of recovering alcoholics that want to remain sober and help the next alcoholic achieve sobriety. That is the primary purpose of Alcoholics Anonymous, and that is a fact. That fact will get you into recovery. That fact will change your entire life. The person you are now is a sick individual with alcoholism. The treated person with a daily reprieve of Alcoholics Anonymous and a spiritual awakening as a result of the 12 steps will be a changed person. I know because I am one. I know because I've seen it in the 15+ years that I've been going to Alcoholics Anonymous. God willing, you see just the bottom of the barrel turn into contributing members of society that will give you the coat off their back. And that is a fact. My opinions kept me out of AA. Reality humiliated me enough to a state of being humble enough to say, you know what? I ain't shit. My opinions, my decisions, my best arguments ain't shit. I used to say, here are the reasons and my opinions on why there isn't a God. Those aren't shit. I made the leap of faith and said, I'm just going to start handing my will and my decisions and my opinions over to the care of God, as I even don't understand them yet. But I am starting to see a higher power of my understanding. And that's the third step. Hand your will and your life over to the care of God as you understand Him. It doesn't say hand your will and your life over to a Catholic God. It doesn't say hand your will and your life over to this guy Charles Manson, Jim Jones. It doesn't say be a Baptist. It doesn't say be a Buddhist. It doesn't say be a yogi. It says according to your understanding. There is one step you got to take, and that is, I'm not God, and hand your will over to a God of your understanding. So anybody that says AA is a religious cult, a religious sect, is ignorant. By definition, ignorance means without knowledge of the truth, without knowledge of the facts. An ignorant person is walking around talking about their opinions like they're facts when they don't know enough to base opinions on anything. That's a fact of what ignorance means. So, no, AA is not a religious cult. No, AA is not a cult. No, AA is not going to get you in there to have sex with you. It's principles before personalities. Your addiction will create these fears, lies, opinions, arguments, and have you decide that your best knowledge is to not go to AA. It'll lie to you in your own voice and say, you know what, I'm not going. You will get drunk time and time again. That's a fact. From my experience and the experience of millions of alcoholics for damn near a century, that is an observable, historical fact. Our opinions will get us drunk. Facts and reality, God's will get us sober. And that's what I got for tonight. And them's the facts, whether we like it or not. Whether we like reality or not is irrelevant. Sure, it's relevant. Now I sound like Rick James. What am I going to do? Just put my muddy shoes all over Eddie Murphy's couch? Yeah, I put my shoes on Eddie Murphy's couch. No, you are relevant. Your opinions are relevant. Your autonomy is relevant after your spiritual awakening. You become your higher self. We dwell in our lower selves, totally afflicted with the addiction and the disease of alcoholism, totally worshiping our own opinions, totally getting drunk for ourselves. Not once have I ever gotten drunk, and it's been tens, if not hundreds of thousands of times I've gotten intoxicated on one thing or another. Not once have I done that for another person. When you learn that you are not the be-all, end-all, that you're not the highest being on earth, your opinions may mean something, but they're not the be-all, end-all. There is higher powers. AA is one of them. And God, a loving God of your understanding, is the ultimate authority and reality. Once you acknowledge that, you're in recovery. When you continue to acknowledge your opinions like they're the be-all, end-all, especially if you're ignorant of the facts, you're in relapse, baby. Them's the facts. I'm here every night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and I'll be here tomorrow night. That's a fact, Jack. Until then, keep it clean, keep it real, keep doing the damn thing. Peace. Potential Weather God says, yeah, James, I just had another drink, man. I don't know what the hell my issue is. Just did it 10 minutes ago in the shower. I don't know why. That's because you're not acknowledging reality. You're not acknowledging the facts. The fact is, I've been telling you to get your ass in AA and stay there. Your opinions have kept you from doing that. Your opinions have gotten you another drink. You do know why. If you're listening to reality, you know why. But you're not. You're listening to your opinions. I told you yesterday, smash the alcohol so it has no use to you. Smash the bottle so it goes down the drain. What did your opinions say? I'll have 5 drinks and then pour it out. Bro isn't aware that them's the facts. Become aware that there is a reality and then there is your sick thinking. Your sick thinking isn't working. Yesterday I told you to smash the bottle. What did you do? You had 5 sips of it and poured it out. What did I also tell you that I've learned that reality is? It produces a phenomenon of craving. And I said, I hope you have a good day tomorrow, but I know the facts. And what just happened? Factual reality just happened. If you continue to choose to ignore it, you are in relapse. If you choose to acknowledge reality, even though you don't like it, it's irrelevant at this point. Facts is facts. Reality is reality. God's will. Hand it over to God's will. If you say God's will be done, do you think he's going to come back and say, all right, let's get drunk? No. If you say Noah's will be done, what do you think is going to happen? Let's get drunk. Noah's will is to be put aside right now. You're not awake. Go to AA and stay. Say, I can't stop drinking. Tell me what to do, and then listen. I told you as your temporary sponsor, go to AA and get a permanent sponsor. What did you do? You didn't do that, and you drank. And don't be sorry, man. You're an alcoholic. You're an alcoholic, bro. Don't be sorry. You're sick. I'm laying out the solution for you. All you have to do is listen instead of talk. Your talking is going to get you drunk again. Listening, being honest, open-minded, and willing to take the suggestions, at least for now. Tell yourself you'll do 90 meetings in 90 days. It's a common thing that newcomers do. I've done it. It works wonders. The reason you don't know how it's going to work is because it's a power greater than you. If you knew how it was going to work, you would be a power as great as it. These are the facts. Don't be sorry. Just do the next right thing. All right, y'all. I'll see you tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Peace.